Alright, finally into the actual headset. I'm not gonna lie, the look is definitely so clean. It's finally here. MetaQuest Pro has been officially released, and in this video, we're gonna see what's inside the box, how the headset works, and my thoughts on this brand new VR headset. We have a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. So the box looks and feels very similar to the one from Quest 2. The packaging is definitely much heavier and it is less of a rectangle. It had a little tab to tear open, and I don't know why, but the plastic tearing was just so satisfying. The box was a little tight, but I eventually get it out. The headset definitely has the premium feel as one would expect from such an expensive VR headset. Right away, you're greeted with the headset itself and the new Touch Pro controllers. This is the cover protector for the visor portion of the Quest Pro, and it is nice to have since the Quest 2 didn't get anything like this, but honestly, I don't see myself using it at the end of the day. These are the Touch Pro controllers, as I mentioned, and it includes self-tracking, so it doesn't have to be in line of sight from the headset since it's not getting tracked by the headset itself. I could honestly spend a lot more time talking about these controllers, but please know that these controllers are so good, and I made a dedicated video on these, so if you want some more in-depth, I'll link it in the top right corner. Soon as you take it out of the box, you notice the weight difference between the Quest 2 controllers. It is heavier than the Quest 2 controllers, but it does have a good weight and feel to it. You see the controller sensor used for self-tracking in the front. As I peel this protector off, and the grip is a little more comfortable than the Quest 2 controllers, but not by much. This is the port they'll use to charge the controllers through the charging pad, and you have other sensors in the front as well. The controller hand strap had a weird feeling to it at first, and I prefer the Quest 2 version for now, but it may be something that you grow into. Alright, finally into the actual headset. I'm not gonna lie, the look is definitely so clean. It does have a good weight to it, and I wanted to see how it felt compared to my Quest 2. On paper, Quest Pro is much heavier at 722 grams compared to the Quest 2's 503 grams. I thought that since my Quest 2 had the Bobo VR head strap, it weighed about the same, but you can tell for sure that Quest Pro is still heavier than the Quest 2 with attachments. Now onto the charging pad. The charging pad itself is made nicely but has nothing of the wow factor. It is really practical to place down after each use, so you'll have a fully charged Quest Pro ready to go. These are the partial light blocker attachments, and the first thing I noticed is that they felt kinda cheap. I like the idea of being able to be attached with a magnet, but I really hope that third-party attachments does it better than these ones. Different than the other VR headsets, Quest Pro has the open side view so you can see the VR world as well as what's around you in real life. This experience was a lot more comfortable than I thought, and I honestly didn't mind seeing around my room and what was on my headset at the same time. You do have the option to block out the side view with the full light blocker that's coming out in late November for $50. It will be another attachment you can magnetically attach as a single piece. Other small things in the box are a charging block, a couple of charging cables, and of course you can't forget the manuals. What you see right now is everything you get inside the box. Let's get into how the headset works to include new features such as eye tracking and full color pass-through. As I completed the initial setup and the update, I went into the home screen you're used to seeing on the Quest 2. The graphics do look better than the Quest 2, but it's not by much. As Meta stated, the colors definitely do look much sharper and the text on the screen look better too. Something that's really nice about Quest Pro is eye tracking. Face and eye tracking are disabled by default, but once you enable it, you can go under displays to start the fit adjustment. This tells you where to place your headset on your head and also how close or far out you should set the IPD for the best viewing experience. There's no more of the step IPD, and the MetaQuest Pro is indeed stepless, so I really hope Meta keeps it this way for the MetaQuest 3 and beyond. I was able to play around with the Quest Pro for about 3 to 4 hours before making this video, so I'll be able to go into more of the setups and the gaming experience, which we'll cover here shortly. Controller tracking with the new Touch Pro controllers might have been underrated. The controller tracking is noticeably better than the Quest 2, and I still believe these might be the best VR controllers to date. Without the controller tracking rings, it really feels better in your hand and you don't have to worry about hitting your controllers together. The weight of the controller also makes it feel really good to hold, and the haptic feedback is just simply better. At first, I wasn't for people buying these controllers separately, but if you use Quest 2 now and plan to get the Quest 3 next year, this honestly might be worth it for you since it'll be compatible with both headsets. The battery life of the controller is much shorter than a Quest 2, but it'll last longer than the headset itself, so I don't see that being an issue since you can just charge it very easily on a charging pad after each use. I did use the Quest Pro from a full charge and played it until it died, and just like Meta mentioned, the battery lasted about 1 hour and 15 minutes while using the full color pass-through, eye tracking, downloading many games, and overworking the headset. If I used it for day-to-day activities, I could see this headset lasting longer than the advertised battery life. From 0%, it took me 49 minutes to get to full charge again, so again it was much faster than the 2 hours Meta mentioned. There are only a handful of games that utilizes the full color pass-through feature and even fewer games for eye tracking. I recommend trying out games like I Expect You to Die, Home Sweet Home, Cubism, Puzzling Places, and Gravity Sketch. These games allow you to experience what the pass-through feature is capable of. My take on the pass-through is that I expected better, to say the least. It's obviously leaps and bounds from the Quest 2 version, but it's not as clear as I expected it would be. With that being said, the technology is moving in the right direction, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. After I was done with my initial session of just shy of 2 hours, my forehead did start to hurt just a little bit from the headset. The pad on the front is comfortable, but again, anything over 2 hours, I definitely needed a break, so I would definitely appreciate some kind of extra padding accessory to buy in the future. Let me know what questions you guys have in the comments below and I'll answer all of them to the best of my abilities.